Welcome to VSB News Online for Tuesday, September 22nd. I'm Peter Kitzel. 30 bus routes have been cancelled for early Tuesday evening as the Public Transportation Board suffers a worse than usual onslaught of mechanical problems in its fleet. The cancellations involve as many school buses as they do the public schedules and cover the island beginning at 3:35 p.m. and ending at 6:12 p.m. The government brought these cancellations to the attention of the media at 3:12 p.m. in the vain hope that it would be possible to convey the bad news to the traveling public in time to enable them to find alternative transport. It may have only been in existence for 4 years, but the SCAR's charity against child abuse has already made its mark, training hundreds of residents in child protection skills. If its message appears somewhat aggressive at times, don't expect to hear any apologies from Director John Brunson. As he told Hamilton Rotarians today, responsibility for child safety lies with all of us.
It has been part of our ethos, and I think morally we have a responsibility to act with aggression in terms of changing our behavior about how we think about the protection of our children, what we can do to ensure that we create a safe environment and really change the mindset in that the sensitivity should rest with the victim. I think far too often there has been far more deference extended to the perpetrator, and that's changing. And I honestly believe that through the work of SCARS and really through the relentless compassion and efforts of Debbie Ray Rivers, that change has really come about.
You must be aware that some magistrates' courts, there's been almost an outswell of opinion from the audience, from the spectators, in favour of the accused, to the point where magistrates have had to warn them. That's a terrible trend.
Yeah, I do think that is changing. I think through the work and the education that we're providing the community, whether it's through our SAFE program, which stands for SCARS on Family Through Education, or our Prevent Now, or our certified training stewards of children, that people do realize now that the sensitivity needs to be and rest with that of the victim to really enable them to recover. But more importantly, the victim has to know and it has to be seen that perpetrators are being held accountable for their actions. I mean, many times, we may not be happy with the outcome, but it's really important to be compassionately relentless to see that an outcome is achieved.
What do SCARS think about registering the names in public?
We think that as part of public safety, and under the grounds of public safety, I think awareness of who offenders are is important. That enables us to, as we say, react responsibly. Not having that really does, again, create vulnerabilities. And information enables us to minimize the opportunities, and I think that's important, that we continue to do everything that we can to ensure that that's minimized.
We are a small country.
Yeah, I think there is one thing also that I'd like to emphasize. Many times people think it's the responsibility of the people that sit in the House to make change and affect laws. But, being a former member of the House, the one thing that I've learned is that you don't need to be on the floor of the House to effect change. The people have a voice, and the people as a collective have power. And if there's something that we truly believe is unjust, unfair, and needs to be changed, we can do that.
Is there anything at the moment that you'd like to see changed, apart from naming?
Yes, we'd like to see that it's made mandatory that anyone responsible for the caregiving of children is required to be trained in some sort of child protection training.
The summer crime wave continues to concern the police, and they are particularly interested in a rash of daylight robberies. Brian Darby has the details.
The Bermuda Police Service would like to advise the public of a recent spate of breaking and entering reports in Warwick and Southampton, specifically in the areas of Middle Road, the Lighthouse Hill area, and houses surrounding the railway trail. It should be noted that many of these events are taking place during the day, and as such, police are advising the public to be on the lookout for suspicious individuals lurking around homes. Also, they are advising the public to leave homes secure at all time, secure all valuables in a home safe or a safety deposit box, and cut back overgrown trees and bushes close to homes. In a brother breaking news report today from the police, a serving police officer appeared in Magistrates Court charged with an offence in relation to an ongoing investigation. The officer is currently suspended pending the outcome of the court case. According to Assistant Commissioner Martin Weeks, this matter is now before the courts. The Bermuda Police Service will have no further comment on this matter until the conclusion of the case. Brian Darby reporting for VSB News.
Even if you missed the startling sight of a group of people in mad wigs at Johnny Barnes Station this morning, you will be aware that Mad Hair Day is not far off. In fact, it takes place on Friday, and for the first time, PALs are including a party at Pier 6 lower level, all in the interest of raising funds for the cancer charity. The new executive director, Karen Dyer, shared her excitement.
Well, it's a good thing for us because it's a big fundraiser to help us continue with our work with cancer care in Bermuda. PALS is the only charity in Bermuda, a registered charity, that does cancer care in the home. Our nurses go around in their little white vans, and we look after people who have cancer at any stage in their illness, from diagnosis to cure, or when that's not possible, palliative care until end of life.
Free of charge? Free of charge,
yes,
amazing.
Free of charge.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
Paid for by the people.
Paid for by the people. We rely 100% on donations from the Bermuda community, from businesses, from individuals. So this is a great fundraiser for us, and it's really important that we do well this week.
Yeah, it's more of a fundraiser in a way.
Yeah, there's going to be fun as well. I don't know if anyone was going into Hamilton this morning. Some of the staff and volunteers were out with their wigs on. I was there with my blue and white hair, waving madly at the traffic with Mr. Barnes. Giving people a shock and just trying to get, hopefully nobody had an accident, just getting the awareness out there that the party is this Friday. It's actually an all-day event. We've got school children, businesses involved in the day part of it, which is more like a grub day where you get a Mad Hair Day button and you can wear that for the day and you give a donation to PALS. And then in the evening we're expanding it. We're having a big party at Pier 6 on Front Street starting at 5 p.m. until 10 p.m. Happy hour price drinks, $5. It's a $20 admission fee, but that includes light hors d'oeuvres. And we have a photo booth so we can get your picture taken and put it into the competition, and you might win a prize. And we have a door prize, and so it's just going to be fun. The DJ's going to be there, we'll have music. And it's a nice setting because you can go outside and watch the sunset. So
Lovely.
Pier 6 is the place to be this Friday.
Now, you didn't have this last year, and you still raised $22,000. That's remarkable.
That is amazing. That just goes to show the actual generosity of the Bermuda public. And we just hope that the people can continue to dig deep in their pockets again this year. You know, there's a lot of competition out there for donated funds. And there's many other wonderful charities who are, who are also great charities to donate to. So we just have to hope that people will continue to support PALS and our mission to provide cancer support for people in Bermuda.
And we'll be back with more news right after this.
The Marketplace Food Court is you and your family's one-stop shop. Start your day at the Breakfast Bar with omelets made to order and traditional Bermuda codfish breakfast. The chefs will cook lunch and dinner to your liking. Along with the salad bar, sandwich bar, sushi bar, and fruit bar, the Marketplace Food Court is your kitchen away from home. Every day is hassle-free with nutritious meals from the Marketplace Food Court. Visit us 7 days a week. Homemade cooking, quality service, all at prices you can count on.
With 32 food and product vendors already chosen to be a part of the event village on Front Street during the 2.5 days of the 2015 Louis Vuitton America's Cup World Series, concessions manager Chris Garland was asked if he had found the preparations a challenge.
I don't think it's a challenge. I think it's a change. I think that we've had sort of stable ways that we've always done things in Bermuda, and I think the America's Cup team have brought in an aggressive approach to dealing with big events of this scale. One thing that's been brought to the table that's been hanging around our shores for a long time is the green guidelines, and that's become very important as we try to make this a sustainable green event that takes Bermuda sort of food and beverage to the next level. And
how you tackle that one?
With the support of local vendors. Butterfield and Vallis, I know, has been a big part of this as a partner. I hope I'm saying that correctly. With America's Cup, they've brought some very competitive and good price point products to the table that the local vendors that can use and are starting to open their eyes to the way things should be done.
So when you left, that will still remain.
That's what we're hoping, and including myself. I think we all have are seeing the effects of what big events can do to small markets, and we must adhere with the policies that the America's Cup has put forward.
It's not really Harbour Night, is it? This is something like exceptionally bigger than that.
Yes, but the some of the systems that we've come to know are going to be the same. The way the village is set up will have the America's Cup flair, but it will be with the consultation of the Bermudian people that do this on a regular basis in the city. In terms of security and traffic and parking, those elements have always been there with city events, and it's their involvement has been there from the start, and they've put the right plans in place based off of what's been done in the past. Yes, it's been extended a bit more, and the rules have been made a bit more strict, but the core element of that has come mainly from this office, the Chamber, and the Corporation of Hamilton.
Any sign of shops, restaurants, others staying open on the Golden Mile?
I think as we get close to the event, I think the America's Cup will reach out to the local retail, and I know the F&B is looking forward to it. I think it's a boost, as we call it, in October. I think we all know October's sort of schedule for Bermuda is very active, and it's a good drill to it for us to extend into what we usually would consider somewhat of a shoulder month, October and even parts of November, with so many teams continuing to train here. Will continue to be a strong month for us.
The first of a new series of free government workshops designed to encourage the establishment of local e-commerce business gets underway on Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. at the Chamber of Commerce. Sponsored by the Department of E-Commerce and coordinated by the BEDC, this opening session will deal with starting an e-business and will cover the process of setting up an e-business online. Minister of Home Affairs, Senator Michael Fay, encouraged both existing entrepreneurs and those wishing to start an online business to attend. And now we turn to Earl Baisden with the latest from the sports desk.
Last night at the PCC hockey rink, the Pembroke Pirates came from behind to take a 1-0 lead in the Bermuda inline hockey finals, beating the Paget Pistols 8-6. The Pistols held a 3-2 lead at the end of the first period, but the Pembroke Pirates would take the second period 4-3, making the score 6-6 going into the final period. The Pembroke Pirates secured the victory by scoring twice in the final period and holding the Paget Pistols scoreless. Jacob Emlon led the way for the Pembroke Pirates with 4 goals, while Ryan Wilson, Max Bovin, David Profess, and Warren Miller all added a goal each. Shannon Goose and Joe Neal scored twice for the Paget Pistols, while Andrew Marcus and Chris Grantier added a goal each. The Bermuda Cricket Board Premier Division playoffs, as well as the Premier and First Division 2020 finals, took center stage this past weekend, and now we take a look at the top batting and bowling performances. In the batting department, Western Stars captain Brian Hall was the top scorer for the weekend with a knock of 60 against the Devonshire Recreation Club, while Terran Frey from Bailey's Bay had the second best knock of the weekend, scoring 46 in his team's match against Southampton Rangers. His teammate, Danico Hollis, added 42 in the same match. With figures of 7 overs, 2 maidens, 4 for 15, Saoirse Roy Fubler from Willicott returned the best bowling figures of the weekend in the Premier Division playoff win against Devonshire Recreation Club. Candy Phillips from Devonshire Recreation Club was the weekend's second top bowler with 3.4 overs, 4 for 15 in his team's Premier Division playoff loss to Willicott. And with figures of 4 overs, 1 maiden, 4 for 31, saw Dion Stovall from Southampton Rangers have the third best figures of the weekend in his Premier Division 2020 final loss against Bailey's Bay. Marie Keel and his 7th-ranked Clemson men's soccer teammates earned a 2-1 result over visiting Duke Blue Devils, who are ranked 16th nationally at the historic Riggs Field. Constance Francis, in only her second game for the University of Western's women's field hockey team, scored her first collegiate goal in a 2-0 victory over McGill. Francis opened the scoring for Western partway through the first half with an aggressive play around the net, assisted by Leah Brooke. Western then began the second half of the game with a 2-0 lead after Katie Newton swept the ball past the McGill goalkeeper. Bermuda's other 2 players on the Western roster, Jennifer Chisnow and Heather Sinclair, were not part of the team. A total of 99 runs crossed the plate in the latest round of the Bermuda Commercial Summer Softball League season, currently going on at the Michael Priest Softball Diamond. BF&M went down 20-9 to Ace, while KPMG defeated PWC 14-9. The Corporation of Hamilton defeated Vasco in a 47-run thriller, 24-23. In Fraser Brookmeyer Continental Bowling League action at the Warwick Lanes last evening, it saw the Cubs defeat the New Hope 27-3. The Spice Nicks defeated the Pinjammers 26-4, while the Nifty Rollers defeated the Bermuda Pest Control 26-4. The Invaders defeated the Pinsplitters 19-11, and Cricky Licky Laundry defeated the Oddballs 25.5 to 4.5. Quashie Douglas helped St. Johnsbury Academy women's cross-country team defeat Mount Mansfield High School 34-26. Douglas finished 3rd in the women's cross-country race. Meanwhile, Dej Manas and his Franklin Pierce men's university cross-country teammates finished 4th out of 43 teams at the UMass Dartmouth Invitational. Junior Miners finished 60th with a time of 26:50.29. Juma Machette's Virginia State University men's cross-country team finished 2nd with 61 points, competing in the Virginia Union University's invite at the Bryant Park in Richmond, Virginia. Those seeking the opportunity to represent Bermuda in the Red Bull Youth America's Cup only have a few hours to do so, as the sign-up for the second tryout is just hours away from the deadline. Thus far, 22 have submitted expressions of interest for the Combine this weekend, Saturday, September 26. Maria Duffy led the way as 16 of Bermuda's age group triathletes competed on the final day of the World Championships in Chicago, watched by Flora Duffy. Duffy finished 11th in the women's 60-64 age group, just missing out on a top 10 finish. She completed the 1,500-meter swim, 40K bike, and 10K run in 2 hours, 51 minutes, and 47 seconds. Johnny Betts finished 104th in the men's 40-44 age group at the time of 2 hours, 25 minutes, and 20 seconds. While with a time of 2 hours, 48 minutes, and 52 seconds, it saw Frances Betts finished 73rd in the women's 40-44 age group division. Competing in the women's 55-59 age group, Sharon Craig finished 44th with a time of 2 hours, 57 minutes, and 1 second, while Sarah Farah finished 76th in the women's 40-44 age group, clocking 2:54.02. Aaron Garcia's time of 2:22.17 saw him finish 88th in the men's 25-29 age group, and Chris Hands clocked 2:17.31, which saw him finish 82nd competing in the men's 25-29 age group. Thomas Hands was 110 competing in the men's 50-54 age group, clocking a time of 2:52.38, while Rebecca Shepard clocked a time of 2:36.13, finishing 53rd, competing in the women's 40-44 age group. Jennifer Wilson clocked 2:39.32, finishing 89th in the women's 35-39 age group, and Carl Wilson recorded a time of 2:15.15, which put him across the line in 68th in the men's 35-39 age group. Due to the weather, the swim was cut short. 3 competitors competed in the shorter distance. Deanna Dyke finished 62nd, competing in the women's 45-49 age group with a time of 2 hours, 29 minutes, and 4 seconds. Ben Lau's time of 2:11.49 saw him finish 109th in the men's 45-49 age group, and Alex Shepard's time of 2:05.41 saw him finish 85th in the men's 45-49 age group division. I'm Earl Baston reporting for VSB Sports.
Looking at the weather for Wednesday, September 23rd, there will be a mix of sun and cloud with 1 or 2 showers. Winds will be variable and light. We are expecting a high near 86 Fahrenheit and a low near 79. This weather forecast is courtesy of the Bermuda Weather Service. Thank you for watching VSB News Online for Tuesday, September 22nd. I'm Peter Cattell.